Hello, welcome to College and University Search Screencast. We're going to look at how to use Family Connection to help you find your college search. You log into Family Connection, your screen should look just like this, and you notice that it has welcome messages that you haven't visited for a while. You can read them. These are from your loving counselors. We often post links and personalized notes here, like we have course casts here for you choosing your courses, but today really we're interested in the college search. So if you scroll down on the left hand side, it says about college. There are several powerful functions here, so let's take a look at the first one, which is the college search. You click on that and that should open up. Okay, blinding fast speed, I see, and it does. And you can see right here it has certain tabs. This is very similar to many other websites out there. The first one is the default one, which is type. I want to go to a 4-year. I have no preference for a public versus private. I would like a co-ed university. I'm thinking I'd like a small city or a large town. You can see that they have many groups organized in here. These are actually, for example, the FIS guide, it shows up in there. These are highly respected universities. There's colleges that are Hispanic serving, the Ivy League, the Kaplan Newsweek, New 25s, New Ivies. So there's many different things. If you want to select more than one, you just hold the control key down. So I've selected from a couple of different ones here because I want to be able to get more information on them. So I'm just scrolling through, seeing I like the FIS guide quite a bit. So I've got the FIS guide, the Newsweek, the Public Ivies, U.S. News and World Report 50 liberal arts colleges. I'm not particularly religious, so I'm not that worried about it. So I'm going to click on next and see what the next screen brings to me. You can see this is fairly intuitive to follow. What you might not have noticed is that up here it says 160 matches. That's still quite a large range of colleges, so you can see there's other things. You don't have to follow it in a sequence, although it defaults to it. And so I know I want to go somewhere in the New England, maybe the Midwest, and I'm also thinking Canada maybe. So let's see what that does as we narrow the scope of our search down. This is what you need to do. You need to give criteria. We're down to 56, which isn't actually a bad number, although I'm actually particularly interested in a type of major have a look at. So I'm going to click on the majors button right here and see what they have to offer. You can search by a major by name or go for a specific area of major. So I'm interested in communications. Let's see what happens when I click on communications as it pulls up a list. This is all in real time, so you can appreciate. Now these are all the subcategories within communications. You can add all, or you can add selected ones. Again, just hold the control key if you want to choose them out of order. And let's just add the selected ones. See if there's anything else in there. Oh, photojournalism. Love taking pictures. Public relations. I'm really good at that. Maybe this one. And let's see what that does. We're down to 56, remember. So let's see what happens when we go next. You could also just click on show matches. I think if you click, we can see that we're down to 20 colleges. That's enough for me to take a look at, and it's going to give me a list of colleges, and you can see it keeps the search criteria here, so you can change any of these. And I scroll through and you can see that there's all sorts of things here. What's beautiful about this particular thing is I can look at enrollment, and I can look at out-of-state tuition, and I can look at, let's see, what would be a good one? Percentage accepted. Now you can see it does this each time, but allows me a very quick comparison. So it's going from the most selective to the least selective based on these criteria. Now I can pick any of these universities, so I'm going to click a few of them that sound kind of intriguing. I don't know why UMISS showed up 3 times, other than perhaps it has 3 different programs, although it seems strange that they would. University of New Haven. I heard Kansas has a great journal. Oh, so did Missouri. What else? Earlham College. That sounds intriguing. So I've just clicked on these, and these are being added to my colleges. You can see handpick list. So I just click on add to my colleges, or I can compare. Let's see what happens if we click on compare. And you can see what it does is actually compare me with students from Shanghai American School who've been admitted there. It has my profile information, and it's comparing them. So where it is green, that's basically a go-ahead school. My profile matches the typical student at that school. The red means, whoa, I should stop and take a look. My profile's a little weaker than the typical student there, or it might be a lot weaker in the case of Northwestern. It gives us some basic information so I can decipher it. Now, if I click on any of these universities, I can get more information about the university. So I go back to colleges, and I'm going to add these to my colleges. I can also save the search, so I could be searching for different majors, different regions, but these are the colleges that I'm considering. Now I can go through and understand these a little bit. I can add my interest, really high interest there, and another high interest. Not so interested in Michigan. I hear it gets cold there. Although Northwestern, wow, okay, it gets cold there too. You can see some deadlines are there. So you can see expected difficulty is an interesting thing. We'll get into it at another point. We're not going to worry about it. But one of the most interesting things is this graph function. So we're going to click on graph and see what happens. Earlham College is a small residential liberal arts college, and you can see actually there is no information for us to look at here. So we're going to go back a screen. But I know lots of students have applied to the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. The graph compares my profile, my SAT score, and my GPA with any student from SAS who's applied there over the last 5 years. I'm this red circle that appears up here. So you can see in terms of my grade point average along this line here, many students get admitted, and my SAT score tends to be actually higher. So I'm right in the ballpark here. I wouldn't quite call it a safety. I'd say it's a little bit low for my comfort zone, but the likelihood is I would get admitted. You can see the accepted average is 3.34. My GPA is 3.2, so I really know that I need to have a strong senior year and end of junior year to kind of beef it up. The red X's, as you can see, mean denied. The green squares means accepted, and the blue ones are ones that were waitlisted. You notice I kept it on the 1600 scale. I encourage you to do that as well, because that's a more accurate reflection of what's been happening. The 2400 scale is very new, and the writing component of the SAT isn't that important yet to many colleges. Here's Northwestern, and you can see it's exactly the same story. My GPA and SAT haven't changed, but the type of pool I'm in has. You can see everybody who has my GPA was denied, and even many of the students with my SAT are denied. So clearly this is a reach school for me. I'm a 3.2. The average student there is a 3.77. So let's go look at a different